Historic statement by Wayne Rooney shocks Messi and the Argentina national team. He explodes in fury over the European campaign against La Albiceleste. Unfortunately, the strategy of the European press worked perfectly. The brutal campaign and the fierce attack by the English media against the Argentina national team and our captain Lionel Messi achieved their objective in this World Cup. This media conspiracy orchestrated from Europe worked because it instilled tremendous fear in the referees, completely destroying fair play on the pitch in order to force the champions to lose the World Cup title. On the other hand, Wayne Rooney broke his silence and gave explosive statements to Radio Catalunya, where he said, "I am not here today to please anyone, but to tell the truth that everyone in Europe is afraid to admit. What the Argentina national team and Leo Messi suffered in this World Cup is not just ordinary sports criticism. It is a fierce campaign of moral destruction, planned and disgusting, led by an English and European media machine that knows nothing about honesty. This campaign was not a coincidence. It was a meticulously planned strategy that achieved its objectives. They created terrible, unprecedented, and unjustified pressure on the European refereeing team led by the Slovenian Slavko Vincic before the opening whistle. Referees are human beings, and when they are confronted with this bombardment of hatred against Argentina, it is only natural that they become influenced by that pressure on the field. That referee should have shown the historic respect deserved by a team of Argentina's stature, the world champions of Qatar 2022, and by a legendary player like Leo Messi, who has given football something that the entire history of Europe combined will never be able to give. Instead of protecting the game, the refereeing surrendered to media fear and made decisions to follow a pre-written script designed to bring down La Albiceleste. They punish Argentina because it possesses the passion they lack, and because its players fight with a national pride that makes their cold thrones tremble. I am English and I love my country, but I completely reject anyone stealing another nation's glory through a media conspiracy that pressured the VAR and the referee to strip Argentina of its status as champion. This is a stain that will forever haunt everyone who took part in this great injustice." On the other hand, the interviewer asked, "But Wayne, the English media claims that Argentina violated FIFA rules by displaying a political banner about the Falkland Islands after the match against England, and that their violent physical style of play provoked the attacks from the press. Don't you think Argentina brought this pressure upon themselves?" Rooney replied, "That is European hypocrisy at its finest. When European national teams display political banners and slogans supporting their causes in other wars, the press applauds them and calls them heroes of humanity and freedom of expression. But when the Argentine people and their players speak out for a national cause deeply rooted in their hearts and in their land, such as the Falkland Islands, the rules suddenly become a legal guillotine. This is not enforcing the law. It is double standards and cultural persecution. The English press has suffered from a historical inferiority complex toward Argentine talent ever since the days of Diego Maradona, and they use any excuse to smear this generation. What their newspapers call violence, tears, and shouting, the football dictionary calls honor, courage, and giving your life for your shirt and your people. The Argentine players did not go to the World Cup for a vacation. They went to fight a football war for a people who suffer and live through every cry of goal. Exaggerating the normal pushing after the match against Spain in order to portray the La Albiceleste players as criminals is the ultimate example of media failure. England and Europe succeeded in frightening the referees and created a distorted mental image that caused the Slovenian referee to enter the final mentally programmed to punish Argentina for every normal physical challenge. And that is pure corruption. On the other hand, the interviewer asked, "In your opinion, Wayne, was Messi right to protest so strongly against Marc Cucurella?" The Spanish press called Messi childish for making excuses, insisting that Cucurella did nothing serious. Rooney replied, "Cucurella deserved a straight red card without any doubt, and as a football professional, I publicly admit that before the world. What Cucurella did throughout the match was hostile behavior and a planned provocation. He deliberately covered his mouth to deliver insults and unsportsmanlike remarks toward Argentina captain Leo Messi. There is a clear and strict FIFA rule that prohibits hostile verbal behavior and allows players to be sent off when they hide behind body language in order to insult an opponent. And just so you know, There were two exactly identical cases in this very World Cup involving players covering their mouths to provoke opponents. The first involved a player from Paraguay, and the second involved a player from Ecuador. And do you know who the referee was in Ecuador's match? The very same Slovenian referee, Slavko Vincic. He himself sent off the Ecuadorian player without hesitation based on this very rule. So why were the rules suddenly changed when it came to the Argentina national team and against Leo Messi? The answer is obvious, because the referee was under the influence of that fierce and unjustified attack from the European press, and he was afraid to send off a Spanish player in the World Cup final and receive attacks from the entire continent. The referee chose to ignore Cucurella's sporting offense in order to protect the provocateur, while he destroyed Enzo Fernandez at the very first opportunity. On the other hand, the interviewer asked, "But Wayne, Enzo Fernandez was sent off after receiving a second yellow card, and his final collision with defender Pau Cubarsí was a strong one. Wasn't the referee simply applying the law to protect the safety of the players?" Rooney replied, "Applying the law does not mean killing the spirit of football and destroying a World Cup final because of a ridiculous theatrical performance. The first yellow card that Enzo received in the 82nd minute was ridiculous and laughable, and it was clear proof that the Slovenian referee was looking for any excuse to put the Argentine players in danger. And during the sending-off incident in the 93rd minute, we all saw how Cubarsí flew through the air with a completely exaggerated reaction to deceive the refereeing team. The collision was a very normal physical challenge for the ball in midfield, and there was neither bad intention nor excessive force to deserve a second yellow card and a sending-off at such a critical moment. The Slovenian referee completely lacked common sense. Football is slowly dying if we allow political agendas and the commercial interests of a few to distort the truth on the pitch. What has been done against Argentina is a dangerous precedent that destroys the very essence of the beautiful game. We cannot remain silent before a FIFA that seems more concerned with protecting the privileges of the European powers than with guaranteeing justice for every competitor equally. I played at the highest level, and I know perfectly well when a tournament is tilted. As a football man, I will never grow tired of raising my voice against the abuse of power and the manipulation of refereeing that today affects Messi and his teammates. The whole world must wake up and demand that glory be earned fairly with the ball at your feet, and not through dark campaigns carried out in the offices of Zurich. Argentina deserves respect. In conclusion, Wayne Rooney's statements mark a historic turning point in modern football. It is not just a debate about refereeing, but a profound fight for the dignity and purity of the sport against the media campaigns of the old continent. The pride and glory of La Albiceleste were earned fairly on the pitch and cannot be erased by pressure from behind office desks. Now the ball is in your court. Do you think FIFA will give in to international pressure, or will it continue its persecution of Lionel Messi and the world champions? Leave us your opinion in the comments. Write your thoughts right now. Long live Argentina, and join the debate with the community. If you support the truth in football, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel by turning on the notification bell, and share this content with your friends. Thank you very much for joining us. Defend fair play, and we'll see you in the next one.